Alrighty, welcome folks to the Northeast iRacing League. Colin Chismore here, your main commentator, alongside Jared Galway, who has answered the call tonight to join me here in the commentator section. Driver of the 03C Mini Stock, that would be me, with the 2021 track champion in the Mini Stock division, driver of the number 06J, alongside me. Currently watching practice right now. Now we have Quentin Stohart leading the way, he was last time, running a 14.56 lap time. Liam Lattiser trailing behind him currently as we begin our practice session here. John West in the 444, P3, Tyler Merkley, P4, Troy Etherington, Ryland Poole, Cody Sager making his return, of course, after a unfortunate end to his last race. Josh Black, always strong. He's back. Mike Denny in P9 currently, with Clayton Solevsky in P10. Clayton actually just made himself his own little iRacing rig today, rather than just sitting in the office chair. So it's really nice to see him up toward the front. Of course, putting in the work to do better here in the Northeast iRacing League.
Looks like Zach Lynch has joined us in the bottom.
Yeah, I do not believe Zach has posted a lap time currently. Of course, Zach, the number 95, at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway, alongside with the Northeast iRacing League. Always with that sharp Lightning McQueen paint scheme. I know I definitely enjoy it. I know the kids love it as the 76 gets upside down there coming onto the front straightaway. Slows the field up as they all reset.
Track is looking fast already in hot laps tonight.
Yeah, the track is going to be fast. I know last race we had on Thursday here at Lanier Speedway, it was primarily a top-line track for the heat races and hot laps and everything like that. But once feature time came around, the bottom really seemed to come in. So looking forward to some multi-groove racing tonight.
Can't wait to see the super fast two-lane racing. Always exciting.
Definitely is, Jared, for sure. As we're watching, I do believe that is the number 7 of Josh Black cycling and working that wall. Just trying to see what kind of grips up on the top side for come qualifying time. As Cody Sager is working along the bottom. Cody, of course, a Brighton Speedway regular in the, I do believe, Comp 4 division. I may be wrong. He may be mini stock. I'm going to have to actually check my facts on the Brighton boys. But either way, Cody, always fast here.
Some pretty consistent lap times, 14.6, 14.5. All throughout the field seems pretty consistent.
And that's exactly what Clayton Solowski was saying to me earlier, actually last night. Him and I, we were out, of course, went to dinner. And he was saying to me how in this iRacing League, everybody is pretty well within half a second of each other. So it really makes things interesting here. I know Clayton and Zach were able to start row 1 for their respective heat race, the last event that we had here on Thursday. So see if they can repeat those solid performances. And unfortunately, Clayton did not advance to the A-Main, as we are taking 18 to the show tonight. So I do believe 27 answered the call last week. So we'll see what kind of field size we get here. As I see Gavin McFarlane has joined the joined the session, as well as Derek Dimont. So definitely glad to see those two back. Hopefully Gavin has a little bit better luck than he did the last time. Sorry. That white and blue and pink number 77, though, I do believe that is of Liam Lattiser. That is one sharp-looking car.
Very flashy. I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it definitely has Mr. Rad on the side of that car, a business out of, I do believe, the Cornwall area. So it's really good to see those businesses being shown off by the respective drivers here, even throughout the Northeast region. Being able to transfer that into iRacing is actually pretty sweet to see.
Each week it seems like we're getting flashier and flashier cars on here, doesn't it?
Yeah, It's definitely fun to see. I know Clayton Slavsky, he went from the standard paint scheme to getting, of course, his respective colors comparable to his mini stock on the side of his modified. As we're watching Quentin Stohart cycle around, showing the number 04 of Troy Etherington the way around here by the looks of it. But Troy able to keep pace with him on the bottom, which I'm surprised with, considering how the track settings and everything played out last race. He's not giving anything up to that 89 of Stohart, who's working the high side.
Good battles and hot laps all the way around already. Should be an exciting feature and an exciting heat race tonight.
So for you fans that are tuning in, of course, I'm going to run this down a few times before we get into the heat racing action. 18 main, of course, by the looks of it. We have 12, 13, 14. We have 17 cars already answering the call here tonight after all the tracks in the Northeast Dirt region, unfortunately, fell to Mother Nature. So 18 to the A main, 30 laps for the future. We're dropping from 35. Just, of course, to help the show keep the show moving along a little quicker. 8 laps now for the heat races here at Lanier Speedway, with 12 laps in the consolation event if needed.
Yeah, I was loaded up and ready to make my way to Brighton Speedway last night. Made it about 20 minutes down the road before they canceled.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to join you, but of course I opted out that. I went down to Watertown, New York, and enjoyed a nice little dinner and spent some time with my Pine Tree Automotive Racing crew. Calvin, Clayton, Emma was with me. It was quite nice down there. You got to get your passport.
Had a good time.
You got to get your passport, Jared. Clayton and I actually stopped by the Can-Am Speedway last night just to take a look and show Clayton what the facility's like. And all he could say was long, flat, and it looked fast, which it did. So it'll definitely be fun to watch Clayton make his first potential start there on Friday. Of course, I'm going to go down with him, but not as a driver. Unfortunately, the V6 engines and my Mazda is not legal for down there, so I'll be playing crew chief for Clayton. As the 76 gets around there, just trying to see who's in that. Ryland Poole got around there. He seems to be having a little bit of trouble here early in this hot lap session, but I'm sure he'll get everything figured out by the time the qualifying heats and the future race come along, so it'll be really fun to watch. Of course, I'm assuming we're nearing the quarter mark here of this practice session with 18 drivers answering the call, so our field is full officially. Currently, no drivers will be going home, though, but Quentin Stohart picking up the lead here early in this hot lap session. Liam Lattiser, John West, Tyler Merkley, and Mike Denny returning. Currently sitting in P5 with Troy Etherington, Josh Black, Josh Verne, Zach Lynch, Ryland Poole, Cody Sager, Michael Peak, Benedict, Imont, Solovsky, McFarlane. All posting time so far, so definitely going to be interesting to watch and see what happens in this field tonight.
Definitely exciting to watch already. Just about midway through hot lap session, so.
See, the track's already starting to just get a little bit of a shine there, and the entrance is in the middle of turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, so of course we reset the track conditions with each session. Of course, the track progresses throughout the heats. We regroom it for the 10-minute hot lap session, which we have opted to do in between the consolation event and the A main. So give the drivers a little bit of time to feel their cars out and get everything sorted out before the big show. So we still sit at 18 currently for the field total, so we'll see how that ends up. As we're currently watching John West work his way around. I know John's, I do believe from the Niagara region. Somebody's going to have to... I'm going to have to actually talk to these guys a little more as a commentator. Learn what I can. I already know a majority of the guys in the northern region of the Northeast region. Of course, myself, a regular at the Brockville, Ontario Speedway, knowing folks from Cornwall and some from Brighton, respectively. But definitely need to get to learn these guys from the southern part of the region and see how things go with that. I love hearing stories from these guys, being able to chat racing with them, and just overall, more friends is always great. And that's, of course, what racing is really about, is just getting more friends and family going on. I know our mini stock community, we're probably one of the more tight-knit communities in the pit areas on Saturday nights and Sunday nights at the Cornwall Speedway, so it's something phenomenal. Yes, of course, we are streaming on YouTube tonight for the first time for the Northeast iRacing League. So if you could like and subscribe if you're tuning in here tonight, whether you're watching or listening in, please throw us a like, throw us a subscription. You'll be able to follow every event that we have for the practice races before we go officially points racing sometime toward the middle to end of October. So we're going to be running the points season there. But for now, we're just still sorting things out, ironing out all the bugs. So in the growing phases, it's always nice to have those likes and subscriptions and get everything sorted out. So we have a nice, strong fan base, and we're able to actually go live on Facebook and all that good stuff. So, like I said, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is across Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Discord, all that good stuff.
As we take a ride around the track with the 76, now the 444 of John West.
Ryland Poole seems to be struggling a little bit here learning this linear speedway. I know I've seen him get around, get a little loose, have a little bit of issues here and there, but of course this is just a practice session, so feel out your car, see what your limits of it actually are before we go heat racing here. Is Quentin Stohart now being shown on the cameras. Our current leader, of course. It's cycling around the track. I'm sure he's been doing quite a bit of practicing. I know Quentin knows the Sportsman Modifieds quite well. If I am correct, he cruised for Greg Brinklow in the Sportsman class at the Brockville Speedway, and regularly is where he calls home. So, as Ryland Poole, upside down again, coming down the front straightaway. I think 3 times, so definitely gonna have to keep an eye on that stuff tonight, but I'm sure he'll get it figured out come time. And Stohart still currently ranked as your leader in the practice session here. Is we're gonna take a quick minute and get everything sorted out. So we just got the 10-minute warning for the heat races, or qualifying session, sorry. So the qualifying session, drivers will have 5 minutes maximum to post their 2 fastest lap times here. I know it usually doesn't take the full 5 minutes, but gives them a little bit of time to see what they can do, post up their best lap time, compare up against the field. Qualifying sets the grid for the heat races. We will be going 8 laps apiece for those. I do believe if we have 4 heats for the 18 cars, top 4 from each heat race will be making the main event. As now we currently have 21 drivers answering the call, so unfortunately I do believe 3 of them would be going home. Nonetheless, all these drivers, they're not going to give anything up. They're going to go for it.
Oh, it's not going to be easy.
No, we've been rained out all all weekend here in the Northeast region. So you know these guys are hungry to get into the show and show what muscle they have here in the iRacing.
Lots of itchy foot. Lots of itchy foot.
Definitely, lots of itchy throttle foots for sure. John Marshall and Wyatt Octor returning, of course. Wyatt had a pretty strong run last event. As we're watching Cody Sager circulate around the track, learning what he can. Of course, Cody was doing really, really well in the B main, and unfortunate events happened. And I can't remember 100% if he did transfer into the A main on Thursday or not. But nonetheless, hoping that he has another strong run. As we still have Liam Lattiser ranked P2, John West ranked P3, Merkley P4, Mike Denny P5. Etherington 6 as the 76 Ryland Pool catches that inside barrier again. Definitely hope to see a little bit of improvement there as Cody Sager gets a little squirrely there and decides to take it back to the pit area. Or shutting it down to avoid that 76 of Pool, who's unfortunately just not having a good time learning this track as we're riding along with, I do believe that is the number 10 of, or 76 of Ryland Pool still, so he just gets
Track
a little...
seems to be going away now, Colin.
Pardon me, sorry?
The track seems to be going away a little bit, and we're running around a 14.8 is about the average now, whereas earlier we were around a 14.4, 14.5, so it seems to be getting slower the more laps we seem to be turning.
Yeah, definitely. The track, of course, in iRacing will, for lack of a better term, start to go away, burn off, of course, as the grip migrates around the track. So, like I said, last race, it was quite entertaining with the multiple lanes. We had a freight train around the top, basically, for the heat races and the Consie. And then come feature time, something just changed, and it was top line dominant for a little while, but the bottom really seemed to come in, and that seemed to be the place to be, as we have Troy Etherington joining in the chat here. Let's hit him up for a quick minute, if you wouldn't mind. Troy, how do you feel about the track tonight? You feeling confident with what you want to do?
Well, the track's a little slick on the bottom. I was able to tell whenever I was battling out there. It still rolls good, though. It should make it a fun feature to watch for everyone. There's battles all around there for the beginning. But it's only practice, so it definitely will get a lot better as the night goes on, that's for sure.
Yeah, of course. I'm just wondering, Troy, I'm not very familiar with who you are. What track do you run? How are you tied to racing? And just give us a little bit of background on yourself.
Well, I race at the Cornwall Motor Speedway. I've been up to Brockville a few times. I race go-karts against the 77 Liam Lattiser. And I don't know for sure if he's running the 76 Orion Pool. I cannot remember his number, but we all race go-karts down at the Cornwall Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I do believe Ryland Pool actually was in the go-karting class. Of course, I do believe there is a relation to Ryan Pool, regular in the crate sprint division in the area. So thanks for taking a little bit of time to chat with us here, and we wish you luck on your event tonight, and glad to know there's a little more information.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You as well, Troy. Hope to
Good
chat
luck
with you. So it's looking like the...
Oh, it's a nice chat.
Yeah, I'll let you interview the next driver that decides to drop in, Jared. If any drivers are listening in on the stream and want to hop in here as we're winding down our hot lap session, feel free. Of course, if you're waiting on your heat race or something like that, by all means, jump in the chat. Jared or I'll call on you, and we'll get a little bit of exposure to the fans for you folks, just so they can get to know the drivers, see what their thoughts are, and everything like that. Also, while we have a quick moment, don't forget to like and subscribe the Northeast iRacing League on Facebook, YouTube, all the good social medias that are out there. Of course, the more support we have coming into the point season is always going to be better. Hopefully, we'll be able to be streaming on Facebook Live here once we hit, I do believe it is the 100 like mark. So let's get us up there on Facebook, folks. Like, follow, subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff. As we are watching the 444, I do believe, cycle around. The camera points on to Ryland Pool as the 444, John West, seems to be working off the top line there, coming down the front straightaway. I definitely would like to have a conversation with John West, or if somebody could tap me on a little bit of information for him. I do believe he's into a sportsman. As Ryland Banks has joined the commentary chat. Of course, Ryland drops in here throughout most events. Are you racing tonight, Ryland?
I was doing some more practice today and decided it'd be best if I do a bit more practice.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. Of course, we're looking to start a rookie division here soon for the Northeast iRacing League. Once time allows for it, of course. We're pretty busy between all the organizers. Of course, David Smith taking up most of the slack. Derek Dimon playing a big part in it. Ella Scott as well. It's definitely going to come in time. So definitely respectable to say that, Rylan. It's going to be good to have you in the chat here with Jared and I and be able to get your thoughts and analysis throughout the race. I know you were really good for what happened under cautions and following any events that happened. So we always appreciate you jumping in, Rylan.
Yeah, I'll just be here. I'll be in and out for a little bit. Just gotta go and eat dinner.
Yeah, that's more than okay. I mean, I was kind of earlier getting a little bit of dinner into me as well as I was in the middle of calling this hot lap event. So just feel free to drop in whenever you need, Rylan. As we're watching the 76 of Rylan Poole working underneath the 77 of Liam Lattiser. Two former go-kart drivers in the Northeast region, so definitely fun to see those guys running each other. Of course, running up against the go-karts on the Wednesday and Tuesday nights. As the 444 to John West gets around and takes it to the pit area, but that's 76 of Rylan Poole. Oh, he gets into the 777, or the 77 of Liam Lattiser. Picks up a little bit of damage on his car and takes back to the pit area as Liam Lattiser continues to cycle laps. I can say this Lanier Speedway as well. When I was down at Clayton's last night, I jumped in the 358 Modifieds here. Sorry, it was at Volusia. Sort of similar track, and they're pretty hard to handle, like I said. I haven't found a track yet in the 358s when I've jumped onto somebody's sim and been able to handle it right off the bat. It definitely takes a lot of practice, as Rylan said. A lot of discipline in this, so especially for all drivers here, going from even their sportsmen and 358 modifieds, from their mini stocks to their pro stocks, thunder stocks, sprint cars, everything in between. They're all picking up the sticks, as Jared would say, and jumping into these 358 modifieds on iRacing, and of course they are hard to handle, I can say that.
Running order right now, we have Quentin Stoddart in the 89. Number 2, we have number 77 of Liam Lattiser running third. We have the 444 of John West. Running fourth, we have number 6 of Tyler Merkley, and the number 97 of Mike Denny will round up your top 5 for a hot lap so far.
Of course, so far, working our way through the field, we have the number 04 of Troy Etherington, who we just had a talk with. Running P7 currently, Josh Black. Behind him in P8, Joshua Verne. P9, mini stock driver, Zach Lightning Lynch. Rylan Poole jumping up into the top 10. Cody Sager, P11, Michael Peak, 12th. Gage Benedict, 13th. 14th, we have Ryan Holland. Dean Reynolds, dirt car official for the Big Block Series, jumping in. He is currently posted a lap time in P15. John Marshall, running P16. Also, real quick, want to touch on Dean Reynolds' father actually tuning in here tonight. So definitely glad to see he's tuning in, and hope he enjoys the show with Jared and I calling and all the drivers doing battle here at Lanier Speedway. Back to the running order, though. John Marshall, P16. Blake Smith, P17. Derek DeMont, 18th. Mark Sabarin, currently running P19. Mark showing a very strong performance last race, of course, coming away with the win in his heat. And Wyatt Octor, currently running P20. Session has officially ended, so your running order basically stayed the same. 24 drivers have answered the call here tonight, so unfortunately some will be going home. Thank you, first off, to David Smith for posting everything. Sorry, my little furry friend here, Snickerdoodle, the cat, has decided to be a little bit of a pest. So I'm just going to take care of that real quick. Pardon me, sorry, David. Yeah, we also have Rylan, my apologies. So we hope everybody enjoys the show tonight. I'm going to step away for a quick moment as drivers are going to settle their practice or their qualifying laps for their respective starting positions for their heat races, and we will go from there. So those drivers have 5 minutes to post 2 laps. do their best time and go from there. It looks like a majority of them are already out on the field. So I'll be right back. Jared Galway will be taking the helm for the few minutes that I'm gone. So take it away, Jared.
Hey guys, out on the track right now. We look to be running a 14.3 of Josh Verne right now in the lead, with the 12 Merrick Sabrin running a 14.3 as well. And Troy Etherington is posting a 14.4. A lot of numbers coming in real fast right here, right now. So we're looking like the number one of Joshua Verne, I hope I'm saying that right, is sitting on the pole. Back seems to be picking up again. 14.3 for John Marshall. Gavin McFarland posting a 14.513. Good time for Gavin. Liam Lattiser posting a 14.411. Good run for Liam. Looks like all times have been posted. The fastest time of a 14.329.
And I've returned, of course. Like Jared said, currently our pole sitter is Joshua Verne, sitting in P number 1 right now with a time of 14.329. Merrick Sabran currently running identical lap time to him, so definitely interesting to see how this track's shaping up. Like I said, Jared, the separation throughout the field is really cool to see. Liam Lattiser, John Marshall, currently posting P3, P4, Liam Lattiser, Troy Etherington, Dean Reynolds, Josh Black, Ryan Holland making his return, of course, posting lap time in P8. Ninth currently is Gavin McFarland, like Jared said, posted a very, very good lap time with a 14.512. John West running at the top 10 with a 14.525. Age Benedict, Blake Smith, Tyler Merkley, running P13, Quentin Stohart, who led our practice session running a 15.570. So we're going to have to watch and see how Quentin makes his way through the field. Rylan Poole, who was in the chat here just a moment ago, running a 14.617. Mike Denny behind him. Zach Lynch, Cody Sager, Tyler Bushy, and Wyatt Octor rounding out your field currently. As 24 drivers have answered the call, so we're just waiting for the final few lap times to come in before we start gridding for the heat races. Falling behind Wyatt, we have Derek Dimont. Michael Peake not posting a lap time yet, as well as Clayton Solovsky and the rest of the field. So waiting on Michael and Clayton to post their lap times. Of course, will be interesting to see if those two drivers are able to post a time or not.
Come on, Clay, get your butt in gear.
Just waiting for the checkered flag to fall here on the 5-minute time limit for these drivers. As qualifying times are, or the qualifying session is over. Joshua Verne, your pole sitter with Troy Etherington as well. So we'll see how things go.
Very, very tight lap times. This should be very interesting for the heat races.
Yep. So we have heat number 1 currently out on the field. Joshua Verne on pole. It's looking like the 77 of... I saw who that was earlier. I just got to remember the names, of course. Still learning this new field here. The 77 starting outside pole. Just waiting for the remainder of the field to gather up so we're able to see who's who. Josh Black, I do believe that is in the number 7 alongside John West in the 44, making up row 2. Row number 3, it looks like Tyler Merkley, and not 100% sure who that is to his outside. And rounding out the field for heat number 1, it looks like the number X15 of Tyler Bushy. So watch for Tyler to always make his way up through the field. Of course, he's always strong in everything that he's been driving, especially here in this Northeast iRacing League, challenging for the lead and the wins multiple times. As the pace truck is pulling off, as the field works into number turns 3 and 4, the flag man looks him over, ready to give him the green flag.
Green's out. Green
and
flag.
Here we
green
go
flag.
down into turn number 1. Josh Verne gets the jump on the 77 of... just waiting. Liam Lattiser, sorry. Josh Black tucking into the 3rd position. Like I said, though, last race, the heat races, they seem to be pretty top-line dominant, but so far the leader working that middle of the top lane. From what I can see, Josh Black trying to go from top to mid there. Trying to make up a little bit of time on that number 77 of Liam Lattiser, but Josh Verne early in the running here. Running P1, you got John West back there with, I do believe that is Tyler Merkley battling for the number 4 spot. I do believe that would be your transfer position if we do have 4 heat races.
The 77 of Liam Lattiser working hard to reel in that number 1 of Joshua Verne.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely looking at how Liam Lattiser's working the track. It seems like he's just a little bit better on entry, but Josh Verne is able to keep the pace coming off top as we have a car around in the back. I do believe that is Tyler Merkley involved with Mike Denny, I do believe, toward the back. So see if everything sorts out as we're working lap number 5 of 8. It looked like Mike Denny's slowed with issues, so we'll see if anything shorts out. But John West into the wall there. Hard into the wall as the number 1 of Josh Verne still leads the way with Liam Lattiser in behind him as we're coming to 2 laps to go this time. So the dancing sticks are in the air as the number 1 of Josh Verne works his way off turn number 3 and 4 down in turn number 1 as the caution flag falls on the field. So we will have a green-white checkered finish for this heat race. Of course,
Who was that that went into the wall, Colin?
I'm not 100% sure who that was. The camera angle wasn't really on it, unfortunately, but hopefully they can get their stuff sorted back together and everything taken care of. Like I said, if we are having 4 heat races, top 4 are your transfer cars. The rest will go to the consolation. Of course,
It was John West, Jared.
John West. Okay.
Yeah.
So John West involved in this late caution flag here as we'll be having a green-white checker finish for heat number 1. So these drivers are definitely going to turn on. Lights on the pace truck seem to still be on. We'll see if they go out this time, coming around the 1 to go signal, as I do believe the lights are out, so we may be going green this time. Single file restart, of course, with only a handful of laps to go here in the heat race. Josh Verne's going to lead Liam Lattiser, Tyler Bushy, Josh Black, Tyler Merkley, Mike Denny, and John West to the final restart. Here's the pace truck pulls away a little bit. And
watch out for Bushy on this restart.
Yeah, Bushy definitely showing strong coming from last place here as Verne takes us down in turn number 1. Bushy following Liam Lattiser here as Josh Black is straight nose to tail with him as well as Tyler Merkley. As the field comes off turn number 4 for the white flag. It's looking like the battle currently is for the number P2 position between Bushy and Merkley, as Josh Black is still knocking on the door there for that number P3 position in that final transfer spot. Watching Tyler Merkley try the little bit of a slide job, just can't quite clear that number 7 of Josh Black as the checkered flag is out now. Joshua Verne taking your heat number 1 win. Liam Lattiser, Tyler Bushy, Josh Black, Tyler Merkley, Mike Denny, and John West toward the end, rounding out your field here. So heat number 1 has been finished and set as we are looking to heat number 2 now. As the field starts to grid up for that. as the grid rolls off now for heat number 2. Just going to wait on timing and scoring to see who's exactly where. The number 12, I do believe that is Merrick Sabarin starting in row number 1. Alongside him is Troy Etherington in the 04. Ryan Holland to the inside of row number 2 with, do believe that is the 48, possibly, sitting there to his outside. Quentin Stohart starting inside of row number 3 next to Lightning Lynch. And rounding out the field for Heat 2, it looks like the number 21 of Wyatt Octor or Jim Bordon. I'm not 100% sure there. As the field gets ready to go green, here you go, Jared. Let's see you call your first heat race.
I'm going to be terrible as we get under green. Going into turn 1, it is going to be the 12 car of Merrick Sabarin. Close second is Troy Etherington as we head into our first full complete lap. The number 3 position would be Quentin Stoddart. 4th would be Gage Benedict, with 5th is Wyatt Octor running out your top 5.
Stohart and Benedict are throwing sliders left, right, and center every corner, trying to figure each other out and see where they can get the best of each other. Of course, really fun battle to watch there for the P3 position is the number 14 of Gage Benedict working to the inside, trying to clear that number 89 of Stohart. Stohart was extremely strong in hot laps, though, so, of course, winning it. So, look for him to be able to hold vehicles off as Merrick Sabarin continues to lead this heat with Troy Etherington 2nd, Quentin Stohart 3rd, Gage Benedict 4th in your final transfer position, as long as we have 4 heats. Wyatt Octor, Zach Lynch, and Ryan Holland currently on the outside looking in, so we'll see if they can make up any time on your top 4 here to be able to transfer into the show, but those cars have checked out.
Yes, they are gone, with the 12 of Merrick Sabarin still in the lead, with Troy Etherington still sitting in 2nd, and Quentin Stoddart sitting in 3rd. Leader is gone. Mark Sabarin is gone. He is in another county right now.
Yeah, Merrick's definitely always strong here. Of course, picking up right where he left off from the last race on Thursday here. Of course, a little bit of another impromptu practice event as Merrick takes the white flag, of course, in a commanding performance, leading wire to wire here. Quentin Stohart working over that number 04, though, of Troy Etherington for the P2 position to see if he can improve. Of course, Quentin throws it in on the bottom, trying to see if he can clear that number 4 of Troy Etherington. And as the number 12 of Merrick Sabarin, it's looking like it's going to be the number 04 of Troy, 89, the 14 of Gage Benedict transferring into the A, Wyatt Octor, Zach Lynch, and Ryan Holland will be taking their vehicles into the B main. Clayton Slofsky was slated to start in this heat, but unfortunately, he did not make the show, I do believe. So we're going to have to watch and see if Clayton makes an appearance in these heats. As I see Gavin McFarland's here in heat number 3, sorry. I see Cody Sager in there as well, just waiting for the leader to grid up, as it looks like the 79 of Dean Reynolds will be starting on the outside of row number 1. Gavin McFarland, sorry, starting on row number 2 with the number 18 to his outside. The number 15 there. Just going to wait for timing and scoring to cycle through. I should know who this is by now. Of course, we have new drivers and people joining in all the time as racers, so we'll see how things sort their way out. As Ryland Poole making up row number 3 with a 20 of Cody Sager to his outside. And rounding out the field, it is looking like the number 72 of Derek DeMont, as we are coming through the parade laps here for the heat number 3. Just wanted to say as well, while we're working under these pace laps, please like, subscribe, follow Facebook, YouTube, Discord, Twitch, all that good stuff. Of course, the more support we can get for the Northeast iRacing League, the better as we head into our point season here toward the middle of October. As the lights on the pace truck have gone out, the number 15 and 79 going to lead them down with Gavin McFarland and the number 18 close in tow. As we're working our way through turn number 3 and 4, as always, the pace truck dives to the safety of the infield. As we have fired, the number 15 doesn't get a very good jump. Neither does the 79, as a little bit of a stack up coming into turn number 1 with Ryland Poole involved there. John Marshall checking out on the field, though, of course, able to rebound from that little bit of a iffy restart, as the 79 of Dean Reynolds in close tow. Gavin McFarland not giving anything up to those leaders right now. As, like I said earlier, Jared, that high line seems the place to be right now. As Cody Sager.
Yeah, it really seems to be making its impact on the high side for sure. John Marshall still in the lead, looking at Dean Reynolds sitting in second, and Gavin McFarland with a strong run sitting in third. Gavin's really starting to impress me over the last couple of races. He didn't have the best luck there, but he's seems to be holding his own now for sure.
Yeah, definitely. As we see the field working that high line nose to tail, Marshall, Reynolds, McFarland, Sager currently your transfer cars. It'd be really nice to see Sager jump in and transfer. I can't remember exactly if he transferred in through the last show, but definitely want to be able to see him do well tonight. As Ryland Poole chasing him on the outside, looking in with Blake Smith and Derek DeMoss cycling around at the tail end of the field, but it's all John Marshall so far here as we work lap number 6 of 8. Dean Reynolds pacing with him. He's not really losing. He's not really gaining. He's just able to match that 15 of Marshall's pace, of course, working the high line as the field has strung their way out as we're working lap number 7 now. Clicked off. Will be white flag this time. Currently, it's not a whole lot of passing in this heat race, but sometimes that's always a good thing. As Marshall, Reynolds, McFarland, Sager all take the white flag, currently sitting in transfer positions, but anything can and will happen in racing as Ryland Poole sitting in 5th right now, as it's looking like it's going to be all John Marshall for this heat race, with Dean Reynolds finishing a close 2nd, Gavin McFarland 3rd, Cody Sager transferring into the show as well. Ryland Poole, Blake Smith, and Derek Dimaw will be taking their vehicles to the B main, so we'll see how things go in that consolation event. I also wanted to give a shout out to some confirmed bonus supplier sponsors of the Northeast iRacing League. Huge thanks to Pine Tree Automotive for putting up a $10 hard charger award for once we come to the point season. Of course, really great to see Pine Tree Automotive jumping on board. Clayton Slavsky, the business owner there. So don't be afraid to send Clayton a message for any race car related or even road car related needs. I know Clayton currently has a competitor's vehicle in a shop right now being repaired and strengthened up, so always good work comes out of that shop. Of course, I work on my own vehicles out of that shop, and Clayton's definitely top notch. So for any automotive needs, don't be afraid to give Clayton a message.
He fixed up my trailer a couple weeks to go after it broke, so he's definitely a handy guy.
So we only had 3 heats. We're going to be currently moving into our consolation event with, I do believe that is Tyler Merkley on row number 1, with the 21 on his outside of Wyatt Octor, I do believe that is, Ryland Poole, and I can't quite remember who that green car is, the number 97. It's always on the tip of my tongue, and I apologize for the not knowing that information. Of course, Lightning Lynch to the inside of row number 1 with the 18 to his outside. John West on the inside of row number 4 with Ryan Holland, surprisingly in this B main, as the lights are off on the pace truck, and we are going green for the consolation event. Of course, 12 laps this time rather than the 15 that we had last race, just to keep things moving along a little better. Light a bit more of a fire under these drivers as well. As Tyler Merkley leads the way off at turn number 1 with Wyatt Octor not giving anything up. The number 76 of Ryland Poole tucking in on that high line in front of the number 97 of Mike Denny. The number 18 of Blake Smith there holding strong with Zach Lynch, the only driver trying to run the bottom right now. And he seems to be able to hang out with those cars in the top 5. Of course, Zach always impressing me as things move along throughout this Northeast iRacing League, as he hones his iRacing skills. Of course, always fun to watch him race against Zach. Very clean, very nice guy. So as we have a little bit of a two-car battle for a lead with the number 21, Wyatt Octor, trying to work that inside line and clear that number 6, Tyler Merkley. But Ryland Poole currently sitting in P3, not giving anything up, with Blake Smith and Ryan Holland in close chase. Tyler Merkley continues to lead this race, working lap number 5 of 12 right now. Wyatt Octor in behind him, working and cycling his way through. I'm going to let Jared finish out the rest of this race.
As Tyler Merkley leads, coming across the start-finish line, with Wyatt Austin in second, Ryland Poole in third, Ryan Holland in fourth, and Blake Smith rounding up your top 5. 7-12 laps, crossing the start-finish line again, going 1. Seems to the top 3 seem to have separate themselves. Not a lot going on at the front right now. As
Tyler, sorry, go ahead, Jared.
I'm still new at this.
Tyler Merkley and Wyatt
two laps left.
Tyler Merkley and Wyatt Octor just seem to check out from the field, with Ryland Poole and Blake Smith working at the front of that little bit of a gaggle of cars there for battle for P2 or P3, that is, sorry. Ryan Holland working the bottom, maybe trying to throw a little bit of a slider on that 18 of Blake Smith, but can't quite clear him. Wyatt Octor seems to be following in the tire tracks of that number 6 of Tyler Merkley. As they take the white flag, Merkley works his way down turn number 1 with Wyatt Octor following close behind. Spaced out a little bit, and really glad to see this driver improve was Ryland Poole. Had some issues in hot laps there. Not able to transfer in through the heat race, but looks in good shape here for this consolation event, as Blake Smith and Ryan Holland and Zach Lynch are all trying to settle it for one of the final transfer positions, as they've settled everything down. Tyler Merkley, Wyatt Octor, Ryland Poole, Blake Smith, Ryan Holland, Zach Lynch, and Mike Denny, I do believe, all transferring into the show, if my math is correct. We're going to be moving into a 10-minute hot lap session, so we're going to take a little bit of a break here as everything gets going, allow Jared to rest his voice, and allow us to get prepared for this A-main coming up. So see you folks in about 5 minutes, and we'll get everything sorted out and squared away for the hot lap session. And I've returned, of course. I was just informed that this hot lap session is now going for 3 minutes as opposed to the 10 minutes that we were given. Of course, some settings were changed nonetheless, but these drivers will be able to still figure out their vehicles for the A-main. As it's looking like Merrick Sabra is pacing the field right now, Dean Reynolds, and behind him, Liam Lattiser transferring in through the heat race, being able to run P3. Quinn Stohart, fourth. Gavin. Josh Black running in 6th right now. Fly Doctor, Josh Bird, Troy Etherington running in the top 10. Ryland Poole currently posting the 11th fastest lap time of the drivers who have taken time here to be able to jump into the feature event as we've sorted out who's going home, who's racing. 18 cars will be doing battle here at the Lanier Speedway. Of course, Ryland Poole jumping back into the chat. I hope he had a good dinner and he's ready to do some analysis for us here for the feature race.
Close. Ryland Banks.
Sorry, Ryland Banks. My apologies. I got 2 Rylands going on here, so.
I know it's confusing. They're the same number too.
Yeah, it definitely makes things a little more interesting. And the mini talks, I do believe Ryland Poole's around the division, correct? Maybe something right now, but it's do that. As the session has ended, Merrick Sabran, Dean Reynolds, Quentin Storr, Liam Lattiser, and Troy Etherington rounding out your top 5. So look for those drivers to have a very strong A-main, as we're going to be moving directly into that here in a few moments. I can say, David, the show's moved along quite well with the less laps. That's one thing to touch on, of course, as we're building this division, is the heat races, the qualifying, everything like that. It only took us an hour. We're currently sitting at 8:57 p.m., so definitely nice to see that timing and scheduling is moving along as it should, as it's looking like with our 6-car invert for the A-main, we have Dean Reynolds and the 04 starting on the row number 1. The 77 starting on the inside of row number 2. Just waiting for the camera to cycle through the field, of course. As we're taking a nice look at that iRacing pace truck. Is that a Chevy?
It sure looks like one.
Well, that's the only truck you want to have, as the 77 of Liam Lattiser and the number 15 of John Marshall starting row number 2. Merrick Sabarant and Josh Verne, row number 3, heat race winners. Tyler Bushy, Quentin Stohart starting row number 4. Row number 5, it's looking like we have Gavin McFarlane and Josh Black. To the inside of row number 6, we have Gage Benedict and Cody Sager making the show, of course, this time. Really nice to see Cody able to do that. Tyler Merkley and Wyatt Octor, Ryland Poole, Blake Smith, Ryan Holland, and Lightning Zach Lynch rounding out your field in P number 18. So definitely nice to see Zach transferring into the show and going to be able to refine his skills and get a little bit of seat time here as we're working the pace laps with Dean Reynolds and Troy Etherington leading the way.
Way to go, Zach.
Dean always able to show strong here. Of course, very experienced with the dirt car division, as I do believe he's an official for the Super Dirt Car Series. Troy Etherington, a competitor in the Rockville and Cornwall Motor Speedway area. Liam Lattiser, John Marshall, always strong showings. Liam, I'm not sure if this is his first time with the Northeast iRacing League, but definitely good to have him. There's Merrick Sabre and Josh Byrne returning. Watch for Merrick to have a very good showing, as the leader is being shown the green flag, and we are clean, mean, and green for the Northeast iRacing League as the field works their way down into turn number 1. It's looking like Dean Reynolds is able to check out a little bit here as he takes command of the field as we're working lap number 1, but Liam Lattis are working that inside lane with Etherington on the outside. They're not giving anything up to Dean. Dean still showing the way as we work our way into turn number 1, as Saber and Stohart are starting to work their way up through the field. Josh Verne still posting very strong, running that bottom lane a little, or middle lane, trying to split the field here as he's working his way down into turn number 1 and 2. As those guys come off turn number 2, 3 wide, Verne, Marshall, and Stohart battling out for that P number 5 position. As you could pretty well throw 6 to 8 cars under a blanket for this P2 spot. A little bit of contact there with the number 15 of John Marshall. Sort of getting into the wall a little bit there. As Dean Reynolds still trying They're still with the comfortable lead as Gavin McFarland slips up a little bit there, coming through turn number 1 and 2. Tyler Bushy is outside trying to capitalize on that little bit of a slip up. Dean Reynolds is starting to check out, but don't look now. But Merrick Sabarin has moved up to P number 2 from that row 3 start. Josh Verne currently as well, working on the 04 and the 89 of Stohart as Gavin McFarland throws the slider in, gets into Verne. We got a couple cars upside down there. I just think that was just hard racing gone wrong there. I do believe McFarland tried to throw a slider and he just wasn't quite clear. We do have mirrors on in this league, but mistakes still happen as we are under the caution flag at lap number 7 of 30. Your current running order is Dean Reynolds, Merrick Sabarin, Liam Lattiser, Troy Etherington, and Quentin Stohart in your top 5 as the pace truck picks up the field.
Doesn't look 3 like cars wide going into the corner on a slide job. That was destined for disaster, that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just wasn't able to clear him. Of course, Gavin will hopefully be able to gather things back up as he is currently being scored in the number P7 position. So we'll see if anything changes on that. I know we're waiting on a dedicated race control of hopefully Dave Topping within the next few weeks. Dave actually in the tower at Brockville, Ontario Speedway on Saturday night. So it'll be nice to see him join. But as we're working under this caution flag, I just wanted to say, of course, we're trying to push the growth of this league. So please, if you can, like, subscribe. We are streaming on YouTube tonight, Twitch, I do believe, as well. Of course, jump on Facebook. We need to get to that 100 likes for the Facebook Live, and I really think once we get to there, this league will take completely off. Of course, we already have drivers from multiple disciplines across the Northeast, like I said earlier, from sprint cars to mini stocks, as we are coming back to green for the first restart of this race. Dean Reynolds showing the way down in turn number 1 with Merrick Sabarin trying to work underneath him. Dean Reynolds able to clear him coming off the top line, as it seems like that top line is still there, as the 04 of Troy Etherington's working that cushion, trying to see if he can clear anybody, gain a little bit of momentum, as he's working on the number 77 of Liam Lattiser right now. McFarland goes into the corners, gets a little bit squirrely again, tucks in behind the number 15 of John Marshall. John's still recovering from that little bit of a hiccup that we had earlier, as Josh Verne is slow, as we are under the caution again. Rylan, were you able to see exactly what happened there to bring out our caution flag this time?
Unfortunately not. The camera was not focusing on the cars involved.
Of course, it's hard to keep track of that, though. Of course, you want to be able to watch multiple battles, so unfortunately some things will be missed, but nonetheless, the racing's still showing really good as we're at the lap 10 mark, so a third of the way home now. Working under caution. Like I said, though, Dean Reynolds showing the way with Merrick Sabarin following in behind in a close second, learning what he can about Dean Reynolds, seeing if he can capitalize on any mistakes that Dean may make. Of course, the number 77 of Liam Lattiser is also sitting back there thinking, hey, if these two are making a mistake, I'm going to take advantage of it. As the field starts to double up, I do believe the lights on the pace truck are out, so giving us the go signal. Like you said earlier, though, Jared, the track's starting to slick off just a little bit more as the pace truck's staying out. The track's definitely starting to burn off from what I can see. What are your thoughts on that, Jared?
I think it's coming in just like hot laps, you know, the more rubber they're putting down out there, the slicker it's going to become, you know, just like a regular night in real life. So the more the race goes on for the duration, I think the lap times are going to get slower and slower, and I think it's just going to get slicker and slicker up there, and cushion's just going to get pushed higher and higher till the end of the race.
Green, green, green.
As we are back to green flag here, going to click off lap number 10 of 30 as Dean Reynolds and Merrick Sabarin still leading the way with Troy Etherington and Liam Lattiser currently in the P3 and 4 position. Hopefully we can get another green flag run like we did earlier going as the number 15 Ryan Holland gets down to the, or John Marshall, sorry, gets to the inside down there and makes a little bit of contact with one of those cars. I'm not 100% sure who that was, but Quinn Stewart jumping up into the P5 position. Zach Lynch trying to work his way up as well from the rear of the field, making up some hay here. Following Tyler Merkley around currently as we are back under the caution flag here on lap number 12 of 30. So the field winds down and things get sorted out. I do believe that's Tyler Merkley stopped on the outside of turn 3 and 4. So we'll see if Tyler's going to be able to rebound from whatever happened there with that incident. Of course, Tyler, I do believe he's running street stocks, Jared. You'd probably know a little bit more on that than I would for sure. So.
Yep, Tyler running the street stock, has ran street stocks at Brockville for several years. Know him quite well. Raced with his brother in the mini stocks. Fought with his brother for a championship, actually. I believe it was 2019.
I remember we were within a couple points of that car. Of course, Hayden Brown buying that car off Dominic, and we were able to come out on top as a driver crew chief combo for the 2021 championship.
Yeah, we really got it figured out for that year. That was for sure, man. That was the last full season points season we ever had.
Yeah, took us a few years, but we figured that little Chevy Cavalier out. As nonetheless, we're going to get back to the action here on the track. Dean Reynolds on the bottom for this restart with Merrick Sabaran to his outside. Currently have Gavin McFarland scored P3. He's actually scored P4 currently on this restart as Dean Reynolds gets a good jump again. As Merrick Sabaran trying to work that bottom to see if he can get around Dean Reynolds down in turn number 1 and 2 as McFarland and Lattiser are battling for the P number 3 position. McFarland currently on the outside. Quinn Stohart in behind him, so not too far as the number 21 of Wyatt Ochter gets around going down and through turn number 3 and 4 after a little bit of contact with what's going on there. I'm not sure if, yep, that is going to put us under a yellow flag condition again on lap 13 of 30. I see a car in the pits there. I do believe that's the 76 of Ryland Poole. Not sure if he was involved there, but taking his car for a little bit of attention to get things sorted out. As the number 1 of Josh Verne with some issues on the back straightaway here as well as the field cycling through. It's going to allow those drivers to probably go around with the race control as Dean Reynolds is going to pick, or the pace truck's going to pick up Dean Reynolds in the remainder of the field. As we let drivers take their vehicles into the pit area to get a little bit of attention to their rides. We use fixed setups currently in the Northeast iRacing League, so everybody's pretty well on equal ground. So any real reason to pit would be for damage or if they're able to make any minor changes, if at all. As Dean Reynolds, Liam Lattiser, Gavin McFarland, your top 3 right now. It seems like Sabaran's faded off back into P9 from what I can see.
I'm really enjoying watching that 17 car run the high side sitting in third. He's really working that top side to the best of his ability there, and I think it'll pay off for him.
As the pace truck pulls in and Reynolds gets a good jump this time, so does McFarland behind him. As McFarland working to the inside of that number 77 of Lattiser. How about Zach Lynch up there in P7? Battling with Cody Sager. Currently drops back, I do believe, into the P9 area. He's still currently P7. Zach, of course, refining his skills, battling with Cody Sager and Tyler Bushy. I guess he finally decided to go around Tyler Bushy. Zach has maybe found something on that high side. As Merrick Sabaran, we're watching him, makes a little bit of contact with the 95, seeing if he can get back up toward the front. Cody Sager working the middle underneath that number 18 of Blake Smith. But it's, like I said earlier, it's been Dean Reynolds the whole time, as it looks like the top 5 is currently falling pretty well nose to tail. Reynolds, Lattiser, McFarland, Holland, and Marshall. Of course, Ryan Holland closing his way through the field and trying to get up toward the front. Of course, always a strong contender here. He has won in one of our practice races. I do believe it was at the Oswego Speedway. He was able to come clean away with a victory, but so far tonight, it's been all Dean Reynolds showing the way here around the Lanier Speedway. Liam Lattiser is pretty close behind, though, so as we are back under a caution flag. field down, get down into that cautious pace. The pace truck's pulling out, so they'll collect the field as it's looking like the number 1 of Josh Verne again with an issue. I do believe that was our heat number 1 winner. So pulling a chizzy, I could say, as Jared would say, doing really, really good in the heat, coming away with a heat win, and just no luck in the feature, unfortunately. So hopefully he'll be able to get his luck turned around and make his way back up through the field.
Just over 10 laps to go by the looks of it.
For sure, working lap 20 right now of 30. We've dropped the laps from 35 to 30. Just time management, make things move along a little quicker. And I can say it is currently 9:11, so this whole event has only really been about an hour and 10 minutes into it so far, and we're 10 laps to go in the feature. So I think we've pretty well found our sweet spot for getting everything sorted out, as I'm not sure if we'll be going to single file restart or not. I'm gonna have to look into some chats here and see how things go. As I do believe we are coming back to green this time. Sorry, I was just checking a little bit of information as Dean Reynolds again gets a really good jump on that inside lane. Liam Lattiser as the field currently watching them cycle down into turn number 1. Cody Sager slows up a little bit, gets into the number 21 of Wyatt Octor as Rylan Poole currently running that inside lane. Sager makes a little bit of contact on a slider there as he's battling with Tyler Merkley, working down turn number 1. Dean Reynolds still in the command of the field, though, with Gavin McFarland in second place now. Seems to be battling it out with Liam Lattiser for that second place position. McFarland working the bottom. Trying to make some hay as we are back under caution. It will be Reynolds, Lattiser, McFarland scored as your top 3. Ryan Holland still making his way up into P number 4 from toward the back of the field. I do believe that is 04 of Etherington still with a strong run here in P4. Just going to wait for the timing of scoring to cycle through. Were you able to see, Rylan, at all what caused that caution flag?
I believe from what I was seeing there, it was the number 20 of Cody Sager. He's currently running with 3 wheels.
Yeah, that would definitely make sense on why we are under the yellow flag. Looking like Sager missing his left front. I mean, I've seen modified drivers run without their left front before, but never really figured out if we can do anything with the iRacing deal.
Seen many stocks run without right rear.
I've been one of those mini stocks.
Me too.
Yeah, it's not fun when that happens. It's not fun when you lose any tire in a mini stock, I can say that. But, of course, it's all about the 358 modifieds tonight, boys. I will say, when you lose a tire, though, your car does not steer. As we're back to green here on lap 22 of 30, as we did a single file restart that time. Dean Reynolds gets a really good jump on that number 77 of Liam Lattiser as Gavin McFarland following in his tire tracks. Ryan Holland still looking to make his way up toward the front as Blake Smith and John Marshall still working their way up in the top 5. I just want to see Zach Lynch. He's faded from his 7th place spot back to P12, but Zach with a really good performance coming back from P18, refining his skills as an iRacer, is Dean Reynolds still commanding the field, and as he has for the whole 24 laps that we've clicked off here, but Liam Lattiser is just stalking him. It's kind of like that Jaws movie. Da-na, na-na. Of course, that is more than likely what Dean Reynolds is hearing right now as we are under caution. I do believe that is the number 15 of John Marshall involved in that. And taking it back into the pit area for a tow is Tyler Merkley around there. Zach Lynch involved as well. So I don't know if that was anything egregious or not. But race officials will be taking a look at that as I will be checking to see what any chats are currently. As race control has confirmed the 20 is running without a left front. I don't think there's any rule particularly against that, but either way, we'll see if anything comes of that.
quite a few cars involved in that last little tussle, so it'll be interesting to see what damage was caused with just around 5 laps left to go before the end of this race.
Definitely. We are scheduled to go 30 laps here tonight, or 60 minutes. Of course, we are well within that time frame. As just some drivers that were unable to answer the call: Josh Black, Clayton Slavsky. Derek DeMont is in here as a race official, of course. Michael Peak unable to advance. Gage Benedict as well. Wyatt Octor and Liam Lattiser. Sorry, not Liam Lattiser. Liam's in P2. What am I talking about? Anyways, Dean Reynolds brings us back down to the green flag with Liam in his tire tracks. Gavin McFarland battling it out with Blake Smith and Ryan Holland right now for that P number 3 position. Of course, McFarland looking to stay on that podium spot as Ryan Holland gives a little bit of a tap going into the corner as it looks like we're moving down toward the bottom lane right now. I'm just keeping an eye on that 28 Cody Sager with no left front right now. It's quite impressive to watch him run with that as he gets around into Josh Verne, and I'm not sure if that's going to bring us under the yellow flag condition with 3 laps to go, or 2 laps to go, sorry, at that point. We'll see where timing and scoring ends up as we're staying clean and green right now with Dean Reynolds and Liam Lattiser getting a little bit squirrely there, and Gavin McFarland's going to try and capitalize on that as Lattiser working to the outside, but McFarland working strong off that bottom lane for the P2 position. Gavin looking to gain all he can. Of course, Quentin Stohart looking like he'll be going a lap down as we are now 2 laps to go. So the dancing sticks have been in the air already for Dean Reynolds as Dean Reynolds coming around to take the white flag. Gavin McFarland, though, and Liam Lattiser, they're putting on a show for that P2 spot, but they're not far off that number 79 of Dean Reynolds as Dean works down in turn number 3 and 4 with Liam Lattiser trying the outside way forward to see if he can pick anything up, and Gavin McFarland coming to the line, photo finish for P2, but it's all Dean Reynolds here tonight. Of course, coming away with the win here at Lanier Speedway for run number 2. Of course, Dean Reynolds, a huge for this series, so really nice to see him come away with the win. Currently scored P2. We have Liam Lattiser with Gavin McFarland as well. Zach Lynch ended up in P5 somehow. I'm just going to wait for timing and scoring to become official, but your top 3, it's Dean Reynolds, Liam Lattiser, and Gavin McFarland. If any of those drivers are listening to the stream right now, please do not hesitate to jump into the commentators chat, of course, for a winner's interview. I'm going to try and get a hold of Dean Reynolds right now if he would like. That's Dean. As I have invited Dean Reynolds to come into the commentary chat if he would wish. I'm not 100% sure if he's going to be able to do that, as race officials are looking into some issues with a couple drivers. But nonetheless, like I said, your top 3 right now as we're waiting to see if any drivers are going to join into this chat. I'm going to also invite Liam. We have 3rd place finisher Gavin McFarland joining the chat, of course. Gavin, that was really, really fun to watch you work your way around the track here. I know Jared will have a couple questions for you, but what were your thoughts on tonight's event? Really solid performance.
Thanks, buddy. When I knew I was starting 9th, I just knew I had to be patient and everything. So once we started, I just let everything take its toll. You know what I mean? The track was really nice and fast, so there was a lot of rubber laid down, so it was really good.
Yeah, multiple lanes of racing from what I could see up here in the commentary division.
Yeah.
But it's really nice to have you join us working away from your P3. So did you find that the track had multiple lanes, top, middle, bottom, or?
I like the bottom and the middle. The bottom and the middle were fast. The top didn't really have anything towards the end.
Yeah, of course, that cushion would burn off, or any little bit of loose marbles, for a lack of a better term, would get up there. And
yeah,
if you were up there, it'd just dirty your tires up and no bite, correct?
Yeah.
Now, Jared, do you have any questions for Gavin on his P3 at all?
So what's it like driving the iRacing compared to driving your Sportsman?
Or sorry, that'd be modified, Jared.
Modified, sorry. Jesus, sorry. Fuck me.
I mean, it's definitely funner in real life. A lot funner.
I could imagine so.
I didn't know where to go.
As we thank Gavin for his time, of course, I do believe we have the number 79, the winner of Dean Reynolds, currently in the chat. Dean, very commanding performance. What were your thoughts about this whole event here tonight? I know this is the first time we've chatted with you here, so.
Well, I'm happy we finally had a chance to chat. Got lucky with the invert there. Put me on the pole, and then the track kind of locked down there in the middle and the bottom. We were hoping we shortened up the practice to see if we can keep the outside alive, but it didn't. So I just got lucky and just ran the middle and tried to keep her straight and hang on.
Yeah, that's what Gavin was saying. It was the bottom and middle that was quite dominant, and from what I could see, it was as well. A little bit of a top lane came in toward the start, but it burned off as things went on.
The top was definitely there for the heats, and I thought it was going to be there for a while in the feature because I turned my fastest lap in the practice up top, but was it Troy that started on the outside? I usually don't look in the mirror, but I did look at the start, and I saw he went right to the top, and then I saw in the relative he faded back pretty quick, so that's where I knew I was in the right lane.
Yeah, definitely. I know I've got a lot of people to thank for putting on this Northeast iRacing League. Of course, David Smith and a bunch of other stuff. But do you have any other people you'd like to add to that list, Dean?
No, I just want to thank David for doing this, and hopefully the people from Brockville Speedway and everything else enjoys this. I'm having a lot of fun. I can only get on a few times during the week, and luckily the last couple of times the races have been late enough where we can get on and have some fun. So just want to thank everybody for doing the league and you doing the telecast, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun in the off season.
Yeah, of course. We're all looking forward to that. Gives us something to scratch that little bit of an itch as the off season comes along. So thanks for chatting with us, Dean. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to chat with Liam Lattiser here, but nonetheless, another exciting event here. I'm Colin Chisholmore, driver of the 03C mini stock at Brockville, alongside the driver of the 06J of Jared Galway, 2021 mini stock champion. We had Ryland Banks as well, another mini stock driver here in the commentary booth. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and thanks to David for allowing everything to happen. Of course, really fun event. Just going to run down your final running order one last time, or your unofficial finishing order one last time. Dean Reynolds, of course, coming away with a win. We just spoke with him. Liam Lattiser, P2, with Gavin McFarland finishing third. Just going to have to wait for official timing and scoring to finish up, but either way, that would be your top three. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to like.
It's saying I finished 8th because I got a black on the last restart, I guess.
All right, we'll look into that nonetheless. We saw a third place. Breeze control sort everything out. I'm sure that's just a glitch in the matrix, but nonetheless, thanks everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow on all social media, YouTube, Discord, Facebook, Twitter,